Kayla from Kayla Crochet Love, and welcome to episode 33. If you are new to my channel, it's nice to see you here, and if you're returning, of course, it's always nice to see you here. I actually have quite a few of new viewers. It kind of got a little surge of subscribers there, which was pretty cool, and I have to give a shout out to Z from Zelda and RJ3, who gave me a shout out, so I have to owe a lot of that to her, so thank you, Z. I appreciate it a lot. And she did a shout out video, and she mentioned before, when I first started recording, I used to record in a different room, and I had a big rocking chair. And I don't have the rocking chair now because it's an old rocking chair. It actually used to belong to my grandfather. And my sister-in-law had started the process of refinishing it, and that was years ago, and didn't get around to finishing it, so we brought it upstairs and we're hoping to refinish it, put a new finish on it and everything to make it look a little nicer. Maybe this summer, hopefully. Can't really do that in the winter because of the smell of like the wood finish. So that's where my chair is. So now I'm just on this little spinny computer chair, which works okay, but it's not as comfy, but I can sit higher up in it too. Anyways, I'm recording a day earlier than I normally do. Usually I record on Thursdays, but I didn't really have anything else planned today except for housework. And tomorrow I am supposed to go to my brother's house just for a visit. So I didn't want to have to rush through too much. So here I am on Wednesday. I have a few things to show you guys today. And I'm very impressed with myself. I haven't been starting a lot of different whips. I've been pretty monogamous in my crocheting and knitting, so I only have one active work in progress to show you again this week. So first, for finished projects, I will talk about what I'm wearing. This is the yarn I got a few weeks ago. I have the tag here. It's Ancient Arts Yarns. So that's their logo. And this is they're part of their Woof collection. So it's yarn they dye based on different dog breeds. So they had like Chocolate Lab, they had Border Collie, I think there was a Dalmatian one. So this one is for Australian Shepherd. So there's a little picture of an Australian Shepherd. So it's they're 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, fingering weight yarn. There's 385 yards per skein, or per hank. It's hand dyed in Canada. And this one was really neat because it says a portion of the proceeds from this yarn will be donated by Ancient Arts to charities benefiting stray and abandoned dogs, which I really like. So I had bought this color because the first dog my family, well, my parents had dogs when they were younger, but the first dog we got as a family, he was an Australian Shepherd Border Collie mix, but he definitely looked more like an Australian Shepherd. So when I saw this yarn, I had to get it. Very much his colors. His name was Wally. So I wanted to come up with a wrap. So I'm calling this my Wally wrap. I just wanted something that, like, if I'm feeling down, I can just wrap myself in, because that's what he used to do. When I was having a bad day, he would just come and he'd sit next to me, he'd put his chin on my feet, or he'd curl up with me. So I wanted something just for comfort. So I came up with this. So it is a rectangular wrap. It kind of blocked funny, so, but it took me forever to figure out what I wanted to do with it. I frogged this yarn so many times, but I did find something I liked. So I'll show you if I can. It's not extremely wide this way, but it's wide enough where it kind of covers halfway down your arms. And I did block it so it has quite a bit of drape and spacing and stuff. So it is pretty long. It is longer than my wingspan. I can't even show the whole thing. Oh no, it's stuck. Got stuck on my decoration here. So it's really easy how I did it. And I just kind of winged it. I did write down what I was doing as I went in case I liked the pattern and I wanted to make another one, which I do like it. So I actually started with this piece. So I started and I worked, well technically, let's see if I can fold it. I worked back and forth this way to make a long strip, like a really skinny scarf. And then I added from here down afterwards. I worked it this way because I kept chaining. Sorry, that was my phone. I kept chaining and I wasn't happy with the length. And I had been working on it this way down, but again, I wasn't happy with what I was coming out with. So I decided to try something different. So I started with this piece, back and forth, until I was happy with the length. And I knew when I blocked it, it would stretch because I used a 5mm hook, which typically fingering weight yarn, you want to use the smaller hook, or they recommend you use a smaller hook. I wanted to use a bigger one so it had lots of drape. And then once I got to the length I liked, I just did a row this way. And then I started with trebles, half doubles, and then down here I just did this kind of, it's really hard to show because it's so big. So I did this kind of, it's almost like a modern granny kind of thing down at the bottom just for a little bit of a border. And then I just did some small half double crochet shells. So I'm really happy with it. I just took it off the blocking mat today. And it is long enough where if I wanted to wear it as a scarf, sorry, I know I'm messing around with it a lot, but if I wanted to wear it like a cowl even, I could. So I could wear it like that, which I like. Which I'll probably wear it a lot like this, but then it's wide enough I can wear it as a shawl. Oh, I just cracked my neck. So I can wear it as a wrap, which is what I wanted it for. So if I wrap it, it doesn't come to my far on my back, which I didn't want a lot of bulk on my back. So it comes like that, and it just wraps around your arms nicely like this. You could tie it at the front if you wanted. So it's like that. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I like how drapey it is, but not too fully. I'll try and show you. So you can see I did trebles because I wanted it to be a little bit airy. So I can wear it in the summertime or the spring. So yeah, that is my Wally wrap. And like I said, I did write down what I did. I'm not sure if I'll write it up as a pattern. If enough people are interested, I might give it a go. But we'll see. But I really like it, so I might even try making one with like a worsted weight to see, but that won't be for a while. So yeah, really happy with it. And this yarn was lovely to work with. I found it a little bit of a thicker fingering weight yarn, which was great. Honestly, I'm fine with working with most things except for lace weight. So, yeah. A lot of fun, lovely yarn. Happy to have it done so I can now wear it. And yeah. Can't stop looking at it because it does make me think of my old buddy Wally a lot. So, The next finished object I have, I'm also really excited about. It's my last finished object. I had been showing you guys progress on a sweater I was working on for my nephew. So my mom and I took a sweater knitting class. I'm sorry, it's really dry and I forgot to bring water down here. So, my mom and I took a sweater knitting class. So it's a build your own sweater. So there was no set pattern. It was just teaching you how to make a sweater based off of your gauge and the type of yarn you're using. So there's a lot of math involved, which I wasn't good with, but I had a lot of help. So we just decided to make ones for my nephews. So my mom made one for my 8-year-old nephew, and I made a sweater for the year and a half year old. That makes sense. The one who's a year and a half. So I have it finished. I forgot to bring the ball band down to tell you the color, but I used Care Simply Soft. Once I got used to the yarn, it wasn't so bad. I didn't like it at first, but once I got used to the fact that it was a little bit splitty, I just knew to be a bit more careful. So I have it done, and another reason I had to record today was because we're bringing it to them tomorrow. So here it is. I love it so much. I'm really happy with it. So the sleeves are a bit longer, but they're made to roll in or roll over, but I rolled it in just so it gives it a nicer edge. So we got some little wood buttons. So yeah, it's really quite interesting how it was made. When she was explaining it before we started, I wasn't sure I understood. So the first piece I started with was actually the back panel here. So you can kind of see two lines here. I started with this panel here. And then you made the two front panels with buttonholes on both sides. So that way when you sew your buttons on, they're even, which I thought was genius. And then you build on from the back panel and the front panel. I was very confused. Thankfully, my mom's been knitting since she was 5, so she helped me a lot. The instructor helped me a lot. And by the time I was on my last sleeve, which was the last bit I had to do before seaming it up, I was just kind of done because it is just straight back and forth knitting. So, and then you have to, I learned how to do a 3-needle bind off for the edge. So it gives kind of like an I-cord edge. And then I learned how to seam up garter stitch, so you can kind of see a seam, but it sits nicely. And then we had to do a little collar. So my mom had hers done like pretty much the last day of class, and I finished mine last Thursday, and we are bringing them to my nephews tomorrow. So I'll be anxious to see how it fits my baby nephew. I feel like it might be a little bit big, but that's not a bad thing because we know how fast kids grow. So yeah, very happy with it. And we decided to go with an acrylic yarn just so it's easier for my sister-in-law to just wash it, throw it in the wash, and she can dry it too. So the one thing I had problems with was the buttons. I'm afraid they might fall off. If they do, it's not a big deal. We can just sew them back on, but yeah. I'm pretty proud of it. Will I ever knit another one? Probably not. Just because, unless it was this exact same size, I can't figure out the math. I know my mom could help me figure it out, but I don't know. So I might try this same technique with crochet and see how it goes, but for now I'm just not gonna worry about it. I need to work on things that are a little bit more mindless, especially after working on this too, where I had to really think about what I wanted to do. And this, where I had to concentrate. My mom did have to help me quite a bit. She had to pick up the collar for me. But almost everything else I did by myself. So that was really, really fun. And I can't wait to see my nephew wearing it. Gonna be very cute. And my older nephew has a matching one. Obviously it's just bigger. Same buttons and everything though. And yeah, so it'll be really neat to see them together. Obviously I won't be able to share pictures just for their privacy. I don't want to share pictures of them on here on Instagram or anything, so but I'll let you know if it looks cute on him, which I'm sure it will. So anyways, that's it for finished objects. And like I said, I only have one work in progress, but I will talk about acquisitions first, which I forgot went upstairs. It was my mom and I had to go to another town for an appointment. I had an appointment yesterday. So that town had Michael's in it, so we stopped at Michael's. Sorry, that was Monday we did that. That's my cat. That's a door. That always happens. So we stopped at Michael's, and I didn't really have anything I needed there. But of course I had to look at the yarn, and they still had some clearance yarns, so I picked out some yarns, and then we were at the cache and I found a magazine, a crochet magazine. I can't remember which one it is, but it had this little like cowl, hooded cowl pattern and a few patterns I liked, so my mom bought it for me. And I was going to show you guys, but I forgot it upstairs, and I'm not going to pause the video just to go grab that. So the one thing I did buy myself was some Ferris wheel, because I wanted to try this yarn because it is really soft and it's 100% acrylic. And I had seen some reviews about it. A lot of people seem to like the softness and stuff, but it was like $10 originally, I believe. It's a coupon. Sorry. Yeah, it was $9.99 in Canada. Sorry, I got fibers in my mouth. Originally per skein. And there is 270 yards per skein, or per cake. So I didn't want to spend that much on it. So when I went there Monday, they were on clearance still, because I had seen them before on clearance and I was still kind of like, nah. I didn't know what I wanted to make with them. So they were on clearance for $4.97. So I was like, okay, that's not bad. So I saw this color. There's another color there that I liked, but then I saw this color. And this color is Pink Marmalade. It's kind of more vibrant than that in person. But when I saw this pink color, it's like a really bright pink. And I thought it was so pretty. And I don't normally like the like browns and coppery colors like that in yarn. Like mixed with this kind of color at least. Like on their own I like them. But I saw this and I was just drawn to it. So I grabbed one and I was like, well, what can I make with one? And I was like, well, they're $4.97. I'll grab two. And my mom's like, why don't you just buy all of them? So, and I was like, well, I don't really have enough money. Because my husband and I have this thing, we call it our allowance, where we're allowed a certain amount each every 2 weeks, which is our, like, we get paid every 2 weeks. We get a certain amount we're allowed to spend on things like for our hobbies and stuff. So I was just short, so my mom paid for the rest of that, like $4 or something for it. So I really appreciated it. But I was having a little bit of a rough day, kind of emotionally, so I think she was just trying to make me feel better, which did. So I got 5. So I still have 3. So I cleared them out of this color. because I was like, well, I can make something awesome with 5. So my mom was like, oh, if I had that, I would make a shawl. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll make a shawl. But I've been making lots of shawls, and I have patterns that I want to make other shawls with. And I have shawls, I have one back there, that one's my favorite. And I have some sitting in boxes. So I was like, oh, what else could I make that's not a shawl that I will use? So I went to my Old Faithful, and I am working on one of my own designs, which I will link to the pattern down below. And it is my Late Summer Nights poncho. So I started that on Monday. So I have quite a bit done already, and it works up quite fast, and I really like how the colors are coming out. Again, it looks brighter in person. Like these browns, these orangey, coppery browns stick out a lot more in person. But the lighting down here is horrible, as I said before. So, yeah, I'm loving it so far. And this yarn's really nice to work with. There's a few spots that kind of got a little rough, but excuse me, once you work them in, you can't really tell. So it's nice and soft, and it'll just be really nice in the spring. So yeah, and like I said, it's my own pattern. So I will link it down below. I like ponchos, especially in the spring around here, or I called this my Late Summer Nights poncho because I like having a poncho when we're sitting around the fire in the summer, around a bonfire, because that way it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and I can take my arms out, flip it, you know. So, I'm all tangled up here. So that is my only active work in progress. Still have not finished my socks because I just haven't felt like it. I haven't had the brain power to do that. I'm almost done, but whatever. I'm only working on things that make me happy. I have to remind myself that. So this made me happy. My poncho is making me happy. The sweater by the end wasn't making me happy, but I was so close to being done that I just finished it. And now that it's done, I am very happy that I finished it. So, other things going on. Same old, same old. Oh, I wanted to thank some of you guys wished me good luck on my test I did last week. I did some studying for it over the weekend, and I did a test on Monday. So it was just something to do with my work. It's something we all have to do. So I passed with a pretty good grade, I would say. I was really nervous when I wrote the test because you need a pretty high grade to pass. So, but I did. I passed pretty much with flying colors. I think I got 4 questions wrong. So I was very happy that's done and out of the way. So thank you for everyone who wished me good luck. And just so you know, I passed. So that's good. And yeah, not much else going on that I can think of. I've had 4 days off this week, so that's why I started working on a poncho and just been taking it easy a little bit. Sunday I don't know if I had like a stomach bug or something, but I woke up with a migraine and I didn't think I was going to make it to work, but I did. And so since then I've been kind of off feeling, so, but I'm feeling better, so. And it was a year ago this past week that I ended up in the hospital for like 4 days. So I think that's why I kind of maybe down in the dumps, a little bit of flashbacks from that, because that was scary. So, yeah. And my cat is clawing at the door. I wonder if she does that randomly through the day when I'm not in my craft room. She just comes and claws on the door. Oh, jeez. Anyways, I'll let you guys go here. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.